So how's your nuts feel?
Great. Why would my nuts feel anyway?
Because you've been dragging them, bro.
Okay. Yes, very much so. And I apologize.
That's all good. Everybody, welcome back to Out at Reese's. I'm your host, Reese Shalvis, and next to me is our co-host,
Devon Anderson. Welcome back, guys.
How you guys doing? It's been a rough week, honestly, but honestly, doing this podcast feels great.
No, it's like honestly, it's like a reset of the week, right? Like it's like no matter how work going, no matter what's going on at home, I come to, your place, and it's kind of like a reset for me. Like it balanced me out and just get me ready for the following
Kind of
week.
refreshes your mind, right?
Yeah. So it just bring me back to ground zero. I guess.
Makes me feel like I'm actually doing something.
Okay. I want to say one thing before we get deep into the episode.
All right, go ahead.
Shout out to Utah State football. My alumni won the Mountain West this past weekend. Hey, see you guys in LA. That's all I had to say.
I don't really follow football, but hey, shout out to you guys. Good job. Let's go, home state, baby. Go for that goal.
No, oh my God. Stop it, Reese. Stop. He knows the basics.
I mean, I watched football with my dad growing up, and I played flag football. I played flag football. I don't know if you...
Yeah, no. So every Sunday for the last 6 weeks, I've been playing flag football. Yeah, no, it's something that I've been getting into very frequently.
It's actually fun.
It's fun, and it's literally it's a co-ed league, right? So you play with guys and girls, but it's this weird league. They literally let you drink.
What?
Yeah, people be having whiskey, champagne, and mimosas and all that shit, bro. It'd be crazy. I just be like, it's 11 o'clock in the morning. I'm not drinking right now.
I grew up playing flag football for the church. So there wasn't none of that, bro.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely wasn't. But no, it was fun, though. I actually enjoyed it. This past weekend, we ended up losing in the semifinals. And everybody had a pre-celebration. We all had mimosas. I'm like, bro, we celebrating too early.
Pre-celebration for a loss.
Yes. But
maybe that's why you lost, was because of the mimosas. Did you think that?
I don't know. That was my first mimosa, so I really was like,
Or the fact that you were on their team. Either
yeah,
or.
Right. Yeah, right. Actually, I try my best. Again, we're here with a Kirkland sparkling water.
Not sponsored. I feel like I got to say that every time.
Yes, not sponsored.
As good as these are, hey, Kirkland, we're always open to sponsorships, so hit us up.
It's just that sizzle.
That sizzle.
It's a sizzle.
Speaking of sizzling,
I
got a question for you.
Go ahead.
This is kind of on our topic. This is the worst transition ever into another topic.
Go ahead. Let's see.
But I want to ask you this. To you, what would a perfect society look like?
Wow.
I know we're
too bad it will never exist. A perfect society to me, I guess, honestly holding everybody accountable for their actions. I think essentially a perfect society on that note would be nobody has to be held accountable for their actions because why not?
Because it's a perfect society. Nobody's doing shit wrong. So
so
there's no need to hold people accountable when they ain't doing.
Yeah, but your perfect may be somebody's a different perfect for somebody else.
That's a good look on it. Yeah.
So just because you say the society is perfect in your eyes and everything you do is perfect doesn't necessarily mean the person behind you will see it the same way, right?
Yeah.
They may see it oh, you this and that. Have a disagreement. That's why being perfect is too complex. Literally, if you're I don't know. I never met somebody that was perfect. And if it was, if Jeff Bezos got all his money because he was perfect, then I'm pretty sure he failed. But he did get that massive loan from his family. But, I don't know. I think you have to go through certain things. Having a perfect society is so difficult. Because, people always want more. We always want more. So we will never be satisfied with just being perfect.
I feel like there's a lot of gray areas that it's just like having a like you said, it's very like people could to different people they could have a different of what a perfect society is.
Yeah.
Right. Someone could even say, "Oh, the perfect society is anarchy,"
or the purge.
Or like exactly.
Yeah,
like,
you know,
like stuff like that. But like, I mean, honestly, it's all subjective based, and it really comes down to one's own personal morals.
Yeah.
Kind of what we talked about in one of the last episodes.
And that's why I don't feel like a perfect society is something attainable. Like you can have rules in place and things of that to make a, I guess, sustainable society. But you always going to have a group or somebody that's not satisfied with us with whatever is going on, and they're going to, you know, cause an uproar in whatever situation may be. Right? You know, right now we like our entire world right now is heightened on police heightened. Oh my God, I can't even get it out. It's very focused on freaking police brutality, right? Like that is something in our society that is highly focused on right now.
Yeah, definitely. And
right?
It has been for several years now.
Yeah, several years, but like it feels like in the last 4 years it's been like a really boom, like a big spotlight on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
one thing I've had a conversation with my friends about.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't want to get too much into this topic specifically. I'm using it more as an example. But so when it comes to communism, I know it's a weird like change of pace, but just hear me out, all right? Because me and my friends were having a conversation about this. We were saying like how communism theoretically would work if everyone thought the same, nobody gave a shit, right? Like essentially, if everyone was happy with how communism, but because people have different emotions, different experiences, obviously doesn't work, right?
Right.
Now, so me and my friends had this conversation, kind of leading from that. It was a perfect society, obviously subjective based, but essentially, if everyone was a collective consciousness, no individualism,
Mm-hmm.
a collective consciousness,
Mm-hmm.
you could have a perfect society. Because essentially, everything someone else feels or experiences, you feel and experience.
Yeah.
Right. So it's just something I thought.
So
I'd
you feel
kind of
like
bring up.
if one person was angry, then the entire group is angry, right?
Essentially, yeah. But
so how is that?
But I don't know if anyone could make each other angry in the sense that since there's no individual consciousness, because that's like everyone is.
Yeah, but still, wouldn't they feel some certain way towards something? So are you saying that?
I think our collective consciousness could feel something to external stimuli.
Yeah.
But as our society as a whole,
Yeah.
essentially could be perfect in the sense that we're never killing each other. We're never doing that because why would you want to kill yourself essentially? Because you are me. If we're in a collective consciousness, you are me. But then again, that suppresses all kind of creativity amongst different
that's crazy
individuals and stuff.
Because
right.
So like
kind of getting deep pretty fast.
Well, yeah, because I'm thinking like if I'm with my significant other, and then I catch you with my significant other, then I'm like, oh, that's really me, so I'm not gonna be upset.
But would we even have significant others, or because we're all collectively conscious, living our lives, would we just naturally just reproduce with no love or anything? It's just we reproduce just for the sake of keeping humanity alive, and collectively we're all experiencing that at the same time.
So you think that we wouldn't feel no attachment if we did?
Individually, no. I think if you felt attachment, essentially you're feeling attachment to everybody.
Okay.
It's just something to think about.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like I'm wrapping my
It's kind of like it's one of those concepts that's so hard to actually comprehend what it'd be like to be a part of a collective consciousness. Actually, Elon Musk thinks that we could become a collective consciousness with his Neuralinks. Connecting all of our minds together through his Neuralink. If we were to
that guy,
he's crazy. But I don't know. It's just weird to comprehend that kind of concept.
So what I would do, I would get a chip inside my body. Just because I feel like
cyberpunk.
Well, yeah, cyberpunk, but just think about, you have all the missing people. sex trafficking. You have all these different things, and I feel like unless they come out with like some, anti like jamming technology, which they already have.
Yeah.
But I feel like it would be a better response if we all like had chips. Now I know it's pros and cons to the chips. I'm just saying like I would be open to it just because I feel like it would be better for them, like society, I guess.
For me with the whole chips and like Neuralink type stuff.
Yeah.
It sounds so cool. Honestly, like I think we really are going to be moving to a cyberpunk like future. Like I honestly do. Maybe not exactly the same, but when it comes to body enhancing modifications and Neuralink type stuff, right? Would I get one? If it was like guaranteed to be like safe and like nobody's gonna be controlling my body because of the Neuralink, hell yeah, like because
I think
that'd be kind of cool. Like
I don't know, it's definitely something of the future. Like it's definitely gonna happen at some point. Maybe we're alive for it. Maybe we won't be. Yeah, it's definitely gets your mind thinking. See a couple robot videos. And how
those
like
are crazy.
Yeah, like how it just looks like human, and it's just intense. Like the way in which the society is changing and how forward it's going. I look forward to it. It also is going to be crazy. So why not live dangerous?
I'm honestly really excited for the future of technology.
Yeah. Also, if you guys don't know what Cyberpunk is, it's like a PlayStation exclusive game.
No, it's on all consoles.
But it's a video game. It's just a video game.
Takes place in 2077.
Yep.
Like they can replace their arms with these robot like cyborg arms. They can replace parts of their brain.
Yep. Basically, everybody is cyborg.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's an easy way to sum it up. But I mean, with the whole like Neuralink thing, imagine, dude, just being able to have access to any information you want within milliseconds. Someone asks you a question. Oh, let me see. Oh, that's this. Even though you didn't know it before, you just had access to Google something or search something on the internet.
No, I think
just like that, and boom.
It's definitely nice. Like I'm not.
It's crazy.
It's honestly scary, right? Because you only see it in movies.
Definitely scary.
You see it in sci-fi. All those different genres, and at some point, it will become a reality, right? So, with all humans, some of us are acceptance of change, like we enjoy change, but then all of us, like majority of society, is like, hell no,
dude. A lot of people are like thinking that the metaverse that Facebook is doing is going to be a bad idea.
Because the metaverse,
the metaverse. Have you heard of it?
Nah.
What?
No.
Okay. So Facebook is changing their name to Meta, and they're creating this what's called a metaverse. Essentially, they're bringing real life to technology, or real life to a digital world, essentially. So essentially, they're already working on tons of different things: contact lenses, glasses, all this kind of stuff, where you can enter the metaverse, like VR and AR, augmented reality and virtual reality, and merging it with the real world, and essentially like Ready Player One. It's literally going to be Ready Player One.
That was my favorite movie that came out that year.
And honestly,
did we watch it together?
No. But Ready Player One, it's one of those movies that their concepts of technology we're close to. We're with 20, 30 years within a world looking like not the same politics, obviously, but like the technology, we're 20, 30 years away from that.
I'm going to be 55.
That's going to be crazy, bro. Like,
imagine uploading your, what is it, subconscious onto a game?
To a computer or a game or something.
Stay alive forever.
Oh, dude, that's, I mean,
fuck no.
I saw some rumors that they think that it's going to be possible in the next 50 years.
I'm good.
I'd do it and then let my consciousness die when I'm ready to die. You know what I mean?
No.
You wouldn't?
Not really.
I would. That'd be chill. Do whatever I want. Anyways.
I mean, yeah, but it's just like, I don't know. We ain't gonna get on that topic. That's the topic for another day.
Yeah, well, we're getting a little too deep into technology.
Yeah.
But I mean, along with technology, like it brings a lot of new culture and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And it begs this kind of question that I think is very interesting. It's something we can get deep into. It's I'm gonna specifically talk about the United States society.
Yeah.
All right. But does our society here have too much culture? I honestly don't know how to think of this yet, so I want to get it.
I wouldn't say too much. I think at times it gets overwhelming.
Definitely.
But, like, let's take for, what is it? I don't really like politics, but like this, what is it? Right wing or whatever? I'm not sure. So when Utah had the whole voting thing, right?
Yeah.
You had guys walking around with AR-15s at the voting centers and all that stuff.
I remember
and I'm
that.
just like, that type of culture, like, why are we, like, praising that, right? Like, I'm not, not too deep into politics. I don't want to get into politics, but, I think the biggest corporate of them all is politics culture.
Oh, especially here?
Yeah, here. And just
sure.
in general, right? Like, I think they find something they see and use as leverage in the society and try to break us apart as much as possible. And, I don't know. It's just so many different...
Some would say this culture is destroying other cultures. Not to get deep into it, but I just like...
What culture? Like the United States culture?
Just that politic culture is destroying other cultures.
I would say... I would agree to that. It's just like super like crazy sometimes that when like the whole Russian the Capitol thing, that blew my mind.
Yeah.
Like never have I ever seen anything like that. And that's because of the culture, right? That's the culture that, the president at the time was basically insinuating to, grades, they cheated, all this stuff. And I'm just like, dude, like, it's not that big of a deal. Like, it's not that serious. I just feel like when it comes to, politics and everything, you have a president that comes in for 4 years, undo everything the last president did for the past 4 years, right? And then it's like flip-flop. Oh, what slogan we going to use? What slogan we going to use, right? I mean, granted, I'm going to vote for whoever feeds my best interest, but, I just think politics culture is something that is, like, out of hand right now.
It definitely is. To kind of move away from the politics, because I don't want to get deep into that. if we're gonna do a politic episode, we'll just make an episode.
No, I'm just saying. I just use that example.
No, I get what you're saying. One thing about it though is like it kind of just shows that there's an abundance of culture, both good and bad, that lives within our country, and toxic culture, positive culture, all this kind of stuff. And it's I feel like when it comes to that question whether there's too much culture or not, I think you got to change the question a little bit. I don't think it's necessarily is there too much culture, or is there too much bad culture, or essentially, right? Because with how much culture there is in the United States, I feel like it almost gives us more things to learn about and do, and more things to talk about, study, whatever kind of culture it is. But also because there's so much bad culture as well.
Yeah.
You could, not even without realizing it, be getting involved in the wrong kind of culture.
So I have a question for you. You ready?
All right, I'm ready. Hit me with it.
So is cancel culture good or bad?
You want my honest opinion?
Go ahead. Hey, man.
I absolutely hate cancel culture.
Okay, go into depth. Like, give me a reason. I'm going to tell you, like, I'm more like a yay, no. So I'm going to tell you why I'm a yay, no.
Okay. Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go?
You can go first.
All right.
I had this debate earlier.
Okay. Let's see what. All right. So I hate cancel culture because, for one, I think people can change. A lot of times people don't, and they get worse, or they stay the same. But I do believe in giving people another chance, giving second chances.
Yeah.
And with how toxic cancel culture has become, people are literally trying to cancel people for something they did when they were 15. They're they're like 25 now, 30 years old, and people are trying to cancel them, completely ruin their life, their career, everything, because they said something when they were 15 that was, I guess, more socially acceptable back then.
I don't think it was ever socially acceptable.
I mean, in this, it depends. Like I'm gonna throw this out. 20 years ago, the majority of society was more acceptable with making fun of gay people, just because that's how society was. Now, there's people who maybe made jokes like that, like Kevin Hart, for example. He made a gay joke, on like Twitter or something, or at a show 15 years ago, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And people tried to cancel him for him and not be the host of, was it the Grammys or the Oscars?
I think it's the Grammys.
Yeah, so he stepped down because of that. Now, obviously, he was still an adult then, and I think that also plays in a factor. When you're an adult doing something, and then 10, 15 years later, it's now affecting your life, I think it kind of really comes down to, are you only saying sorry now because you're in trouble for it?
Yeah.
Or have you genuinely changed as a person since then, learned from your mistakes, and now you're being affected by it, and you have changed, but because of this thing you did 10 years ago, it's affecting your life now. And so I don't like the fact that we will go back then. Now, obviously, it can depend on what they've done and the severity of what they've done, right?
Yeah.
So I kind of, saying this, I'm kind of starting to see what you mean by yay, nay. I just convinced myself. But for the most part, cancel culture in general, at least what we genuinely view it as, is very toxic, and I hate it. And I think people are using this kind of power as a collective society for the wrong reasons.
Okay. I'm more a yay, nay, just because I think at some point in your life, you know, especially at 15, you know, like 15, 10, whatever, you know, not 10, I would just say middle school, high school.
Yeah, for sure.
You are taught certain things, and I'm pretty sure you understood the severity of what you said or what you done at the time, but you didn't really care because maybe you was influenced by the people around you.
Exactly.
And, you know, they accepted that and you just was like, whatever. Because at some point you probably talked about it, right? Like,
oh, yeah.
I know for a fact, me growing up, somebody talked to me about racism, right? And talked about how you should portray it and how you should act, or when addressing somebody, right? Is always respect first, right? It's never to disrespect them or anything. What do they prefer? And then I'll, you know, talk to them as that way, right?
Exactly.
So I do believe you should be held accountable at some point, right? Unfortunately, if somebody dig up dirt on you from when you was 15 years old, yeah, you probably change. But I like necessarily like what they said, like you said, you shouldn't like never get a job again, right? You should not, your life should not be over. Anything shouldn't be over for you. But I do think you should have some type of consequences, right?
If someone has genuinely changed and now some dirt on them from 15, 10 years ago is coming up, I think it's their responsibility to not only just own up to it, but kind of prove themselves that, like, look, especially if they're going to be a public image, like influencers and such, they do kind of have this responsibility to just show the world, like, hey, look,
I'm not like this anymore.
I'm not like that anymore. I'm not immature.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is when you're addressing stuff like that, you get in front of it right away.
Exactly.
Right. You don't let the media, all-star articles, like, get in front of it right now. Yeah, you're going to have people that make fun of you. Yeah, you're going to have people that, oh, he don't feel guilty. She don't feel guilty. Whatever, but I think the biggest thing is showing that you understood your actions and, you know, whatever, like, what I know what I did was wrong, and I'm not saying I'm that same person, you know, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But you have different people that respond to that type of behavior different, right? I'm trying to think of a scenario that happened that involved around cancel culture and somebody, like, basically doing the opposite of that. Like, basically going back and forth, like, this and that, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm good. I'm still the same person, you know, whatever. Like, basically stood that ground against cancel culture. And it didn't work out in their favor.
Yeah.
I think, what else happened? What's his name? Nick Cannon. Did you hear about what happened with him?
I did not.
I think he had said something like a racist joke or something along the lines of that. And, like, offended, like, a certain race.
Okay.
And, like, he got, you know, Wildin' Out, right? Do you know the comedy? It's like a comedy show.
It sounds a little familiar, but...
So they basically canceled him from the entire, like, hosting it. Like, he was done. Like, they said, you're over with. Like, this and that. Like, bro, he been running that show for, like... It's probably, like, last year, 2 years ago, something like that. He been running that show for like almost 14, 15 years. And they up and canceled him.
Jeez. That's
you know
crazy.
What happened? Like, he got ahead of it, had a conversation with them, and then became the host again.
Okay.
So, like, it wasn't until later. It was some legal stuff and all that stuff that happened. But he still eventually got back to that. Even, I'm just saying, like, he apologized. He understood the severity of his actions. So.
Yeah. One thing with all these people getting canceled, and when they kind of come out and speak about it,
yeah,
you can kind of tell what their real intentions are, right? You can tell,
do
they feel guilty because someone digged this up?
Yeah.
Or have they always felt guilty in the sense like, man, like, I shouldn't have said those, like, even before people found out.
Yeah.
Maybe in the back of their mind, they're like, man, I feel really bad about how I used to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So, what if they do it more than once? So, say if you dig out dirt and there's more than one occasion that they said this thing. Now at that point, I have no type of, like, honestly, I could care less about your apology, depending on what the situation is, right? Like, because if you do it multiple different times, let's say you did it when you was 15, then you done it when you was 16.
Okay,
right?
so that's very interesting to get into because I think it really depends on kind of how they've changed as a person. Like, let's just say from 15 to 18, right? About right when they're going into adulthood, they went through this phase where it's like. They were like, they were saying racist things, maybe saying homophobic things, attacking all sorts of people. And then maybe from 18 to 25, that's when they actually got educated on matters. And that's where they really learned. And they're like, man, I'm so sorry about, if anyone knew me when I was 15 to 18, I'm so sorry.
No, I mean,
right, and so like, and like, because they really did learn as a person, they learn from their mistakes. They learn based off of more positive influence, and they realized, they kind of came to the realization, like, wow, I'm not a good person right now, and I want to be better.
But see, it comes back to the thing that I said, is that at some point somebody already had that conversation with you. You just didn't care, right? But you didn't care until later in life. Now that you figured out on your own, now you want to be like, oh, yeah,
I get what you're saying. I think the problem with it, though, is when they didn't care at the time, it's because they weren't in the mindset they're in now to care, right? Because obviously now they care, right? Now back then, they didn't. I'm trying to think. They didn't have the intelligence to literally give a shit.
Okay.
So, right, and so they had to kind of go on their own journey of kind of a self-discovery journey of realizing, whoa. Like, I just realized. Yeah. You know what I mean? Now, so obviously they should be held accountable, but I don't think they should be life-ruining, especially if they genuinely have grown as a person from who they used to be.
So let me ask you. Say whoever this person is.
Okay.
Bullied your child. Said homophobic things and ended up taking his own life. Your child took their own life. So, and then later in life, he supposedly changed or whatever. As a parent, what do you tell a parent?
I mean, in all honesty, I'd have a complete bias against him. I could not control my emotion. Even if it's 20 years later and he's changed, he's a great person, maybe helps out the community. Because of the actions that he... Now, this is my personal feelings, my bias, right? Because obviously, I can admit to being a bias. Yeah. I'm always probably going to have hard feelings against him for leading my son to do that. Yeah. And so I see what you're saying.
I'm just saying,
I think that's the biggest thing with cancel culture is bias. Okay. Is there's tons of biasism.
Yeah. No, I think it's something that's going to be around obviously now, right? Like, you can't cancel the cancel culture because people wait until you mess up, right? They literally
they're either waiting,
feed off of negativity of what is going to happen in your life. As soon as you do that one mistake, when you have all this adrenaline and you just freaking panic and you tweet one thing, you try to delete it, it's about 400 screenshots. Right?
And then everyone's attacking you.
Exactly.
And that's, I think there's so many factors that can go into it, like even pressure, right? I think if someone's under pressure, especially if they're not used to handling an extreme amount of pressure, I genuinely don't think they're being fully authentic when they act under pressure.
So you're trying to give them the benefit of the doubt. So if they under pressure,
I'm only giving the ones the benefit of the doubt who deserve the benefit of the doubt. Okay. And because I don't think every single one deserves the benefit of a doubt, right?
So how would you know if they was pressured? That's what I'm saying. So like, literally like
that's one of the factors is sometimes you don't. You can't often that's another thing why you can't just jump straight to conclusions is you don't know the situation. 90% of you don't know 90% of the situation. I mean, that's a made up statistic, but the point is you don't know most situations that people were in. Yeah. Now, I'm not trying to defend everyone that's ever been canceled. Definitely not, because some people straight up deserved it, right? Yeah. But I do think that some people do deserve the benefit of the doubt when there's a lack of information, when there's a lack of context.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no. I'm good. I said I'm yay nay.
Yeah, no, and I agree with you. I'm yay nay too now.
I'm
so like,
nay. Some stuff I just be like, come on.
Oh yeah, so some things you just look at and you're like, bro, like, so someone literally like, I don't know. I get what you're saying. I was going somewhere, but then my mind just kind of froze. But it's like some people you're just like, bro, what are you thinking? Like,
yeah, nah,
like that. That's just like, you can't recover from that because you're 25 years old. You should know better.
And for the people that's in power or a public figure, like the scope is on you 10 times harder, right? People probably got your notifications on. Every little thing, like they pay attention to your every little move. And like even if you one day you want to become a politician or anybody in that government role, then you got to be careful what you post. Like literally, even when you posting on your private story, you got people that's going to screenshot it and then wait until you get that fame and literally cancel you if you would try to ever act fake to them or try to blackmail you.
Now, here's the question. When you say, okay, so you just mentioned they got to be careful what they're tweeting. The fact that someone has to be careful about what they're tweeting alone can say something about them, I think. Well, if you know yourself to be someone who can say stupid things like that and you have to watch what you're tweeting or what you're saying, then I think situations like that you should be held accountable for, because that means you could slip up and say something, say racist or say something homophobic, because you know yourself. So if you feel like you have to watch what you say online, that says something about you right there alone, I think. If you don't feel like you're a genuinely good person that, whatever. Now, obviously nobody's perfect, but that's...
I just feel like this. We live in a society now that anything you say or do will offend somebody, right? So always err on the side of caution. So it's not really trying to say, like, if you can't tweet, like, you want to tweet something, you got to be careful what you tweet. I think it's more of, like, you got to understand the society that we live in, right? You got cancel culture. You got all these different cultures right now. That anything you say right now literally could destroy you, right? You got to probably send it to multiple different people. Be like, hey, this sound right? This not offensive, right? All these things. And it kind of sucks, like, honestly, because you want to voice your opinion. We supposed to live in a society where you can voice your opinion and, not feel like, oh, I got to question my opinion now because I have all these people.
So we're in a society where even saying facts, people will try to cancel you for saying
what is it?
Facts.
Fact checkers. Yep.
Yeah, and so it's like,
please don't come for me.
One thing you kind of got to look into is like, so when you mentioned man, I just lost my train of thought. Okay, so when you mentioned how people are like, yo, watching what I'm saying, whatever, right? Essentially, when cancel culture happens, one thing you got to remember is it's not 99% of the world trying to cancel this person. It's usually the community that felt attacked by the person, right? So, like, let's say if someone made a homophobic joke, probably most of the community there, and then the most of like the gay community or LGBT community and their allies are going to be the ones that are attacking them, trying to cancel them.
Yeah.
The other percentage probably doesn't even give a shit because they're just...
Well, I think it just depends on the severity of what they say, right?
Yeah.
Wrong is wrong, right is right. Right now, if you're talking about like borderline or things of that, then it's kind of like tricky, right? Like, as a, like, I guess, like, if you're a neutral person, you're not really an ally or anything, then you just look at it as a neutral person and not, like, trying to be biased towards because you're an ally, right? I just think it just depends on the situation, on what has been said. I think everybody deserves respect that they need. Like, if you earn, like, not earn respect, but, like, as a human being, you're respected, right? Like, I don't care if I don't know you. I will respect you first until you show me why I shouldn't respect you. So that's how I would, look at that entirety. Can't even get it out. Entire situation.
I mean, yeah. I mean, just in general, like, there's so we kind of mention this a lot, but with stuff like cancel culture, there's just so many factors and gray areas. It's really hard to say whether cancel culture is good or bad, because it's honestly both. Like, it holds the people accountable that needs to be held accountable, but it also can attack people that honestly don't deserve to be attacked the way they do because of the cancel culture. Mm-hmm. So
I think cancel culture is really good for the people that thought they got away with the shit they did back in the day. And now that it came to light, we supposed to think you're a, heavenly saint. But thank God that is, people that literally search the internet for countless hours to bring you up and show everybody who you are, who you truly are. And I think that's a good thing. I think that's a really good thing. If you've done something in your past that's like literally you can't ignore this, I think you should be held accountable 150%.
Yeah. That kind of brings this question I have for you, though.
Go ahead.
This kind of honestly explains why cancel culture is a thing as well.
Okay.
Okay. Do you think it's possible for a group of people with vastly different cultures to live peacefully together in a society?
I think it's very attainable. It's just really getting rid of the egos, like
the rotten eggs,
the egos, the people that I hate simple-minded people, right? Like, you got to get rid of those things in order to have a society where everybody can have a common ground. I think when you talk about something like that, everybody has to respect everybody first, right? You have nothing without respect, right? Like, I'm not going to listen to anything you tell me if your actions not showing that you respect me, right?
Yeah.
So, go ahead.
One of the issues with that, though, is when we say get rid of all the bad eggs, essentially, right?
Yeah.
That also right there is just very subjective of what's considered a bad egg.
You are.
All right, I'm gonna take my leave, guys. Thanks for watching. No, but like, did you get what I'm saying though? Like that's another thing. Like something you could see as someone being, oh no, this dude's a great person. Someone else, because it's subjective, no, they're a bad egg, bro. Get him out of here.
That's what I'm saying. So it's attainable, but like, who are we gonna give the power to judge?
That's the thing is I don't. It's hard. That's so impossible to say who deserves that power or who should get that power.
A murderer. Do they deserve? Are they a bad egg?
They're definitely a bad egg, but
depending on what the circumstances, right?
Explain.
So if somebody broke into my house and was in my child room, and I killed them, I am a murderer, correct? But I am protecting my family, right? You broke into my home.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's subjective. Like, it's subjective from situation to situation. Now, obviously, we're not trying to condone murder, but
not at all.
But I mean, it's definitely one of those things. It's like, and not only is it subjective, but it also, because influence is literally the biggest factor in anyone's
life,
right? Mm-hmm. It's almost like, so when my dad buys spinach, he always takes it out of the bag, spreads it across the entire counter, and he lets it dry out, and he picks out all the rotting spinach because it's pretty. You find a lot of like,
yeah, I know,
and it spreads.
I got spinach
right
in the house right now.
Yeah, so the rotting spinach will spread and make your other spinach go bad faster. So as soon as he buys it, dries it out and picks it out, and then puts it into a container, right? So how is it we can prevent? Again, it is subjective, but how can we prevent the bad eggs from spreading due to influence, right? 'Cause it's,
I don't think we can ever prevent, right? So you have people, because you have people that come into this world mentally ill, and get attracted to murdering people, murdering kids, murdering
just have
women,
that bloodlust, right?
Right, you know. So like, I don't think it's something that we can prevent. We try to prevent it in today's society, and obviously we still have those bad eggs, right? So I guess not. I guess we can't. It's not an attainable thing then.
Living peacefully with vastly different cultures and experiences, I agree. I just don't think it's possible without that collective consciousness.
Oh my god!
I'm not going back into that, but
nah, it really sucks though, right? Like, I think the culture that we have today is, you know, slowly but surely becoming very diverse. I think, you know, me being here with you right now and we doing a podcast together, us actually being like really close friends, is something that I, you know, take joy in and pride in.
Definitely.
You know, we've been friends for almost 2 years now, and look at us, we doing a podcast together.
Not to mention, we're from vastly different places.
And different cultures, right? Like, so you learn stuff about me every day on this podcast, and you know stuff outside of me, outside this podcast, right?
Yeah.
And you know, I think I told you how I grew up and everything like that, and it's crazy how, you know, two different, you know, upbringings bring us in this exact moment at this exact time. I'm like, I don't know if everybody else feels the same way, but I'm like super grateful to be in this predicament, not only on this podcast, but to have somebody like you in my life. That sounds super weird, but I do love him.
Love you too, bro.
But yeah, like I need people like that in my life, just because it provides me with a different approach to life. Like, I learn different things through your eyes and what you tell me and what you teach me, right? I may be older, but you still teach me stuff, right?
I think there's something to learn from everybody.
No, for sure.
Definitely.
And you cannot be closed-minded ever. If you think you ever, like, I hate people that think they know it all, because those are people I hate the most. That's the people I hate, like, always want to separate from.
And they think they're always right.
Yeah.
Like, no matter, they can never be wrong because they said it, right? But
I'm kind of like that. So.
the thing about it is, like, a lot of people don't even realize they're good situations, and they just kind of take it for granted.
Oh, know? For sure.
Which,
I remember. So, I don't even remember what friend it was. I remember one of my friends. So I lost my dad in the 9th grade, and I had one of my friends like complaining about like their dad. It wasn't even nothing like crazy or severe or anything. It was just like I think his dad ain't buy him like some Jordans or whatever, I think, right? And like he was just, I hate him, man. He never give me nothing, like, you know, all this stuff. And then in my head, I'm just like, bro, like, I don't even have my dad, right? Like, my dad won't be here to watch me play football. My dad ain't here to, you know, cheer me on and all this stuff. Yeah, I know he's here with me, but he's not physically here, right? So, you know, it just, you know, like you said, take it for granted sometimes, right? So never take anything for granted. You never know when somebody's last moments will be.
And honestly, I think everybody takes something for granted without realizing it.
Oh,
just something in their life that they don't even realize that they just. No, I don't care who it is. I believe everybody takes something for granted. It's up to you to look to stop for a minute and look at everything in your life and think, what am I taking for granted right now?
Right. It may be your job. It may be, you know, your significant other. It may be
your friends, your family.
Like, seriously, take that time to, you know, I did have a self-reflection, like a couple days ago. Like, I put my phone on Do Not Disturb and just sat there and thought to myself, and I just was thinking, like, I'm so grateful for everything that I have in my life, and, you know, I'm just looking at everything that is mine, right? And, you know, all the people that helped me get to where I wanted to be and where I'm going to be, right?
Did you light your candle?
Yes, I did. I like all my candles.
That's funny.
Well,
not what you said. Just I always keep my phone in Do Not Disturb.
Oh, really?
But I have certain favorite contacts, like family and close friends.
Yeah, it was only my girlfriend's that was on.
Yeah, that can still reach me.
If I ignore her text for so long, I'm gonna get in trouble.
Yeah.
I think it's very important throughout your life to take time and, you know, think about the things that you do have, and don't, you know, worry about the negative, but just be appreciative of the people that you have and the things you have, because literally it could be gone tomorrow. The person that you value so much, near and dear, could be gone tomorrow. And the things that you want importantly in your life, like the PCs and everything like that, could be gone tomorrow. Right? Your dog, your dad,
your
everything.
Life can just change in an instant. Literally overnight, your life could change. Your life could change in the next hour without you even knowing, right? And you get that phone call, or you that thing happens that literally just changes your life forever.
Yeah,
and
for
it
sure.
could happen at any moment. And so you honestly not only got to be ready for that moment, but you can't expect things to stay the same. You can't expect people to. You can't just understand what everyone goes through. You just gotta be ready for change. You gotta be ready for something. You just gotta.
No, I definitely. I don't know. I was just thinking of something that I would want to do. This is totally off topic.
Okay.
I think one of my dreams to do, I want to go to a rave. Like I tell myself all the time, like, raves. You know, it's freaking be crazy.
I've always
Have you been to one?
No.
They look just so fun, right? Like, you just got to be responsible of the people that you go with, because obviously, you know, some raves be crazier than others, but for the most part, like, that's something I'm really trying to do.
A rave is something that
strobe lights.
I may enjoy. My sister's been wanting to take me to one.
You may enjoy it, Reese. I know you would enjoy it.
You think so?
I think just because, like, at a rave, like, you gotta let go of that negative energy.
Just let loose.
And let loose. Like, literally just freaking enjoy the day and just basically live it up.
Vibe with everybody in the area.
I mean, depending on the circumstance, yeah, vibe. But, I don't know, I think it's just like a release. Enjoy the moment type feel. That's what I think that is.
It is one of those, it is kind of very, what's the word? It's honestly, if you think about it, stuff like raves, it's actually really beautiful, because it's literally people coming together, dropping their negativity in their life, dropping their problems for this maybe 2-3 hours of a night, and just to basically literally come together and just share their passion for this music and lights and just their happiness, essentially, right?
Just started listening to EDM music, so
I haven't heard a ton of EDM. I mean, I used to listen to dubstep back in the day, but not specifically EDM.
Yeah, no, it's different. I was like about to drive through like 8 red lights.
and EDM and rave type stuff, that itself is culture too, right?
Oh, for sure, yeah. But there's some people you just don't know that's in that culture, right? Like, because you see them at a rave and you be like, what the fuck? And then you see them at work, you're like, oh.
Yo, this person's completely different. Yo,
exactly.
Yo, you were a freak last night.
Exactly. So, nah.
But yeah, culture's a very broad topic. Like, really, so much can just fall under what culture really is.
Yeah. I think also with culture, like, if it's something that you, if you're from different cultures, like, please pride yourself in your culture. I would encourage everybody to learn more about their culture, whether it's African American, European, Afro-Latina, Hispanic culture, any other culture that I may have missed. I would encourage everybody to, you know, dig deep and, you know, discover their culture within themselves, because I feel like, you know, a lot of us in today's society, we may not see the same, like, we may not feel exactly the same towards our culture as our parents or anything like that. But I still would encourage everybody to find something new about it.
You know, it's kind of interesting, actually. If you think about last week's episode that we did, right? Mm-hmm. Hedonism, right? Essentially, pursuit of pleasure, and that we are all driven to do something by pleasure, right?
Yeah.
I think honestly the root of all humans, every root, everything is so vastly connected in the sense, like, for example, you have hedonism where everything that drives us is based off of gaining something, right?
Yeah.
Gaining something, right? And then what we do and such is influenced on culture. Right. And so I think when you really just kind of start connecting the dots, you
in.
realize how much everything in the world is connected and by some kind of network in yourself, in your brain, whatever it is, in society.
Gotta love society, right? Yeah. It's
such an interesting...
it's always changing. That's the biggest thing. It's always changing. Every year, every week, every day, something in this society change.
It's kind of an interesting thought about society.
What?
So we look at the animal kingdom. We look at their societies, right? The way they interact, maybe their kind of families and groups that they create within. And then as you kind of go up the intelligent list, and then you get to humans, right? Essentially the top of the intelligent chain in the world. Now we look at how our society is built, the way our interactions are with other people, the way we go about our life, culture, everything, right? Now, if you take it up a step higher, and let's just say this is a little off topic, but let's take an alien civilization, right? That's
advanced,
way advanced, way more intelligent than us mentally. They're essentially they'd be at the top of the food chain if they were on Earth, right? What kind of do you think being more intelligent could be a better society, a more do you think that they would go through similar struggles as us, or do you think the struggles they go through, the interactions they have are something we can't even comprehend for what they're doing?
Honestly, I think an alien civilization would be a dictatorship.
You think so?
Yeah.
Even with even if they're like
I would
10,000 times smarter than us.
They would need some type of dominance so that nobody feels greedy. And I think in a dictatorship you can control that.
So essentially, everyone's forced to do something, and you think because with more intelligence, there's going to be more.
Because you don't got to say, right? So now you're just helping the society advance in a way, right? So that's how I would look at it.
I don't know if I agree with that though, because you look at all these countries with insane dictatorships. They all fall at some point.
Yes, but they
don't advance the way that more like if you take the advancement of, say, the United States, Japan, whatever, they don't have this crazy dictatorship.
What's Japan?
They're not a dictatorship.
No.
I mean, do they? I know they used to have an emperor. I don't know if they still have an emperor, but the emperor isn't in charge. If they did, they're not in charge. He's definitely not in charge anymore. But you take all these advancing countries in technology and society, they don't have a dictatorship.
They don't?
The countries you do look at with dictatorships, like the definition of a dictatorship, are the countries where their people are struggling, dude. Like they're not advanced. They aren't up to the level that these other countries are.
Okay,
right?
No.
And so that's why
Oh, it's a military dictatorship.
I think if an advanced alien civilization way smarter than us had crazy technology advancements, I don't think it would have been through a dictatorship.
Hater, say no. I'm really the alien. Say no.
I mean, we're talking about aliens now in a podcast about culture.
Yeah, sorry about that. That was
I thought it'd be fun to kind of bring up and think about.
Yeah, no, it's no.
And we don't even have to necessarily say they're aliens or extraterrestrials. They could literally just be a being of societies much more intelligent than us. Yeah. What would that look like, right? Would there be more war? Possibly even, perhaps.
I think it would be more war.
Perhaps that's why we haven't seen an advanced, intelligent life be out beyond our own planet, because they were more intelligent, causing more conflict and ending their own civilization. All right, I'm done.
I don't agree.
I'm done.
I don't agree. I do think aliens are real.
I do too.
And that's why I don't think that they listen. This should be a topic for another day. Because I could get on this forever.
Yeah, I could too. Bro, we got to talk about it soon.
Yeah,
definitely.
No, definitely.
But that'll be for another podcast episode.
That's all. That's it.
I mean, I still got a couple other things. I mean, I mean, kind of the gist of it is like honestly, culture is so diverse, so vast, just so many variables to input into culture. You can't really say there's too much or too little.
Yeah.
It's just there's the positive, the negatives, and the abundance of it.
Right.
The freedom of selection of culture, which can also fall under like religion and politics and whatever, right?
The church.
So it's just so vast that and diverse that there's really not a solid answer for whether there's too much culture or whether it's bad for us, right? Or whatever. It's just
culture.
It's culture's culture, you know.
Yeah.
It just lives within our society, and there's nothing we can do to stop it or change it. It's just kind of it's kind of like its own growing
platform.
Organism.
But nah.
I mean.
Oh, all right.
So I mean.
Yeah, I guess that's
a good way to. That's kind of a good way to end that topic. And
yeah. Any last note for society is don't let the society define you. Be who you want to be within the society that you want to be in. And that's all I have to say. Don't let nobody dictate anything for you.
I mean, I guess one more thing on cancel culture is, like, that can be kind of contradicting to say be who you want to be, don't let anyone define you, and then when cancel culture comes in, it's like, oh no, now you got to be this person that cancel culture.
Who you are? No, I'm saying that's what I just said. So like, don't let nobody define who you should be. I don't know. I probably worded that way.
Who you should be.
Who you should be.
That sounds kind of.
Yeah, but I understand that.
Who should you be, right?
It's who you want to be. Like
exactly.
It's like literally don't let cancel culture or anybody change who you want to be. Like if you who you are, then stay who you are.
Who you should be isn't what other people want you to be, right? I think that's a good way to put it.
Yes.
Other than that, I think that's a good way to wrap things up.
Okay, that's all I have. Hey, one last thing. Go Aggies. Go Utah State Aggies. All right, that's all I got.
Anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining us today for this. Honestly, I say this was a very
interesting day.
Interesting conversation. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys liked. If you guys did, if you guys want to hear more, make sure you guys drop a follow, subscribe, whatever you're listening on. Also, comment some feedback if you're watching on YouTube. Please leave us some feedback. We want to hear what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong, how we can improve for the future of this podcast and you guys, because we want to give you guys what you guys want to hear and see and listen to. So, if you guys want to follow us on social media, just out at Reese's on Twitter and Instagram. I'm working on getting the Facebook up soon. It exists, but I haven't really done much. Yeah, other than that, that'll be it, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.
See you guys. Thank you again. Please leave feedback. That's all I would say. Thank you.
See you guys.
See ya.